future of money.
MasterCard, the official card of U.S. Soccer, U.S. Youth Soccer, and World Cup '98. By Kodak, who gives you the power to take pictures further. And by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. Tampa, Florida, the place this afternoon for this U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour match, leg number 2 on the six-city tour between the France national team and the national team of the United States. Getting closer to the kickoff right now. Time for our lineups, brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. And Mary Harvey, let's first take a look at the lineup for the United States team and Tony DiCicco.
Absolutely. The lineup for the United States hasn't changed that much. Key players, Brandi, Chastain in the defense. She needs to organize a relatively inexperienced U.S. back line. Carrie Connors is in at number 5 in midfield. She's up top. She's in for Tiffany Milbert, who was out the last minute with a sore back. And Tammy Pearman is going to be making her debut out on the wing. She's starting this game.
All right, for the French national team, of course, these two teams met the other night in Greensboro. France losing 4-2. What about today's lineup?
Well, the French defense hasn't changed at all. They're anchored by goalkeeper Roux and Corinne Diacre. They're very experienced members of the French team. What's key for France today is to the extent that number 9, Anne Zanoni, can really get the offense started and put some goals in for France.
In fact, Marinette Pichon, who scored 2 goals the other night, not playing today, so some pressure on Anne Zanoni. We're coming back with the opening kickoff, the United States and France.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry.
I feel good. And you'll feel great when you come to My Carco Auto Sales, across from Schottenstein's North. Come choose from a wide selection of late model cars, trucks, and vans. From Pontiacs to Cadillacs to Maximas and minivans. We have top quality bank and alternative financing, so there's a pay plan for everyone. Call 471-5555 and we'll serve you before, during, and after the sale. Just look for the big red and white tent at My Carco, where we work for you.
Roll with it this week at Just for Feet, the world's largest athletic shoe store. $19.99 inline skate rollout. For 1 week only, we're rolling back the prices on the world's greatest names and skates, including Skate Attack by Ultra Wheel, as low as $19.99. $19.99. Many various styles and colors. $19.99. For men, women, and kids from just $19.99. Lots of choices, thousands of pairs. The inline skate rollout from just $19.99. Get on a roll this week only at Just for Feet, with the 13th pair is free.
Like this? No way. Then can it give you 3 different options for great pictures like these? Oh, too bad. How about an index print so it's easy to order reprints? Didn't think so. Maybe what you need isn't just another camera. What you need is an advanced photo system, like Kodak Advantix. It's a special kind of film. It's a different kind of camera. It's a better way to take pictures. Further.
They said imports taste better. They lied.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
So now what?
Only drink fresh beer. Budweiser.
You have made a real breakthrough. You did it on your own.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
You're on the road to freshness. Hold all my calls.
Dave Johnson, Mary Harvey, back in Tampa, Florida, Pepin Rouge Stadium on the campus of the University of Tampa, the site for this U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour match today between the United States and France. And indeed, off to a successful start in Greensboro, the 4-2 victory. They look for another victory this afternoon. And well, the conditions a little bit warmer than it was in Greensboro. In fact, a little bit on the hot side. It feels more like June than it does April. Temperature of 80 degrees. You see the wind and a 50% chance of rain. But I think that's always a 50% chance of rain in Florida. Our officials for this afternoon's match, Nancy Lay will be the referee, and the referee's assistants, Sophie Rhodes and Sharon Wheeler, working this matchup this afternoon between the United States and France. The United States putting the building blocks together for World Cup '99, and the French team is getting set for the Women's Euro Championships later this summer. So this is a very important time for the French team. France will be in the blue, United States in the white. We're underway from Pepin Rouge Stadium. U.S. Soccer and this regional sports network would like to thank Nike and all other U.S. Soccer sponsors for allowing today's game action to be brought to you commercial-free. Underway from Pepperdine Stadium. In fact, Christie Pearce just sending the ball forward. She is one of the new faces that we're going to be seeing this afternoon. In fact, from Monmouth College, she's actually a converted defender. She was a forward at Monmouth College where she had 79 goals, but they moved her to the back because that's where the United States right now needs depth, Mary.
Exactly. The United States has 3 world-class defenders in Brandi, Chastain, Carla Overbeck, and Joy Fawcett, but they need to build depth back there, and certainly Tony DiCicco is looking to find really speed at the back, and that's what she can really bring this team.
Look at Tony DiCicco, 45 wins, 3 losses, 4 ties, ably assisted by Lauren Gregg. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the United States. Brandi Chastain will be anchoring in that defense on the throw-in. The United States in white already. The French team put the test at the back. Jocelyn Gout clearing the ball. Anzanone with a touch, and now they try to work it out wide to the left flank. In fact, they do with some success. Stephanie Mugnare, a midfielder, slotting it. Anzanone, and she tries to put it in the middle, cleared by Brandi Chastain with the header. Now Chastain in the United States, in fact, will have to try to clear it. Christie Pearce sending it upfield, but a nice penetration early for the French team.
Exactly. France is getting in early, really getting a chance for the U.S. to really sort out some of the things at the back and get things started. You can see the composure that Brandi Chastain has in solving that situation and getting it forward.
Aimé Mignot, the head coach of the French team, in France developing. The United States in previous matches able to handle the French team rather easily, but the scoreline's getting closer and closer. Again, in Greensboro, the first stop in this victory tour was only a 4-2 margin, whereas in the past, the French team had, as many teams did, a lot of trouble with the national team. France with possession, working wide to Hillion-Guillemin, who is coming from the back. She'll push forward from the right back position.
Exactly.
Christie Pearce putting it forward, and now the United States trying to get through the midfield, but France doing a good job neutralizing. Ball put into space. United States trying to get the numbers back, and this one put into the side netting as Angelique Roux did not have the cross she wanted. And you wonder at times if the wind is not going to be a factor because it gusts from time to time.
Exactly. Exactly. The United States, actually both teams really need to worry about the wind because it is so unpredictable. You'll think you have a read on it and all of a sudden it'll change and it'll do some unpredictable things, especially for defenders and goalkeepers. It can be a factor today.
Simone, who is the front runner for the French team, and she'll be counted upon to score the goals this afternoon. Marinette Pichon, who scored the 2 goals in the first match, not playing today. So she got, I guess, a break by scoring the 2 goals.
Exactly, 2 goals get you a break. The United States, by the way, has made an adjustment. They've moved Christine Lilly up to the front line, and they moved Kerry Connors out to Lilly's traditional left midfielder spot.
France keeping it in, but now the United States trying to go on the attack. In fact, Christine Lilly, who you were just talking about with a touch on the ball. French though. United States trying to get control. Tisha Venturini, such an anchor in that midfield for the United States team. Christie Pearce, and she'll just put it back to Brandi Chastain. A good chance here for the United States to get organized.
Exactly. The more touches you get on the ball early in the game, especially in the defense, the better off you are.
A goal kick. Coming up for the French is Tammy Pearman going forward on that right side. And speed, of course, her strong point, Tammy Pearman. We understand we are having some technical difficulties, so we do apologize to our viewers at home experiencing that, to trust that they are working as quickly as possible to resolve that so we can have full enjoyment this afternoon, this match in Tampa, Florida. This one will sail toward Clearwater. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the United States team. Again, the wind could be a factor this afternoon. Tammy Pearman had a big goal back in the U.S. Cup 95 against Norway. Now with a touch on the ball. Number 3 player. From the back now, cleared by France. In the French team in the blue. Trying to come on the attack. Angelique Roux, who had an assist the other night. And France trying to get set for their European Championships later this summer, so it's an important time for them. Their last tune-up, and what the United States was going through last year as they got ready for the Olympics. Christie Pearce, again, this is an interesting story at the back as she clears it forward. Getting a chance along with Sara Whalen to play at the back with Brandi Chastain. And so far, they've probably been a little bit busier than they'd like to be. France on the attack, Zanone. Can't get the shot off. Under pressure, though, still. Now to put it back to goalkeeper Briana Scurry. 48 caps to her credit. And now try to work it wide left. Sara Whalen, start Connecticut, bringing it forward. Now Julie Foudy, sending it ahead, just had her 100th cap in this game against France on Thursday. Battling for it, Christine Lilly. A good possession on the part of the French team. And so far, looks like Mary, the French team has had more of the match so far.
Exactly. The United States is laying back a little bit. Maybe they're just getting comfortable. The French team certainly has been able to put together some passes well, and they're getting people in.
In fact, as you mentioned that, Roux getting free in the box, trying to get a shot off, but she is denied nicely there by Brandi Chastain. But an opportunity there for Roux from the French team, and Brandi Chastain really saves the day here, Mary.
Exactly. Brandi has great choice of when to tackle. She has her timing down really well, and she's able to change direction very well, and she makes it in tackle. It's pretty important. It's right in front of the box.
Otherwise, Roux gets a clear shot on goal, and it'll be up to Briana Scurry in goal this afternoon. A foul against the United States, so a free kick. Sandrine Ringler. Chastain again. Controlled nicely by Christine Lilly. Now Foudy. And coming up on the outside, Kerry Connors from the University of Connecticut. Getting a big chance this afternoon to start, Kerry Connors.
Exactly. She did well the last game. That's what the word is. And certainly she stepped up sort of at the last minute with Tiffany Milbert being out, and she's doing well today.
United States working it from the back. French team offering some pressure. Elodie Roux putting the pressure on Christie Pearce, and the pressure paying off as now Sandrine Soubiran will make the cross. It's Roux was cutting, and now Anne Zanone tries to get a shot off, but that one blocked by Sara Whalen. French team keeping the pressure up. Jocelyn Gout trying to put it out to the flank, and now they'll work it back to the middle. Zanone, that one by Christie Pearce. Soubiran with the header. Pearman.
United States defense really getting a feel for each other back there, but they're doing a good job so far. Brandi Chastain really needs to focus on getting them organized today. She's had a couple great clearances out of the back, and count on her to really rally the U.S. defense and get them sorted out.
Again, she's flanked by Sara Whalen and Christie Pearce, two players coming along in the United States pool. Angelique Roux, who's had several touches on the ball in the midfield.
Roux really seems to be the playmaker for France. She really wants to get the ball distributed around and is looking to get players in.
Zanone trying to make the cross, and Briana Scurry punches that one over. That one didn't look like it looked like it was going to be blocked, but Zanone, to her credit, was able to actually get the cross off. It'll be a corner kick for the French team.
Exactly. She gets down, she gets the ball across. Looks like there's a deflection. Briana Scurry just doesn't like the look of it, is right there. Makes a great save. Just that little tip over the bar is all the difference.
Kerry Connors had actually deflected off her thigh, and Briana Scurry there to tip it over. And Zanone will take the corner kick for the French team. Positioned in the middle, Angelique Roux. Now a chance here, Soubiran trying to get onto it. United States team collapsing well to close down the opportunities. Jocelyn Gout also had a chance, but the United States team had the players in position.
Exactly. The United States had good shape defensively, but they had a little difficulty getting those initial couple of clearances that they needed to get. Eventually, though, Briana Scurry right there and was ready to intercept that through ball.
And her goal kick, her punt going the distance of the field. I think perhaps the wind helping that to some extent, but going all the way down to Sandrine Roux' attention, the goalkeeper with 58 caps for the French team. Julie Foudy putting it back to Brandi Chastain. In the United States, this is part of the Victory Tour Celebrate. What an amazing event in August. capturing the gold medal. And there was a player, of course, Michelle Akers, a part of that gold medal event in August. And she is recovering from knee surgery right now.
Exactly. Michelle, I guess, is doing very, very well in her recovery. Talked to her a little bit today. She said she feels great. She's just eager to get back with this team. She misses them a lot, I know, and she's looking forward to hopefully seeing some action this summer.
Out of the U.S. Soccer Festival, probably won't be back for U.S. Cup, which is before that. So busy time for the women's team. Brandi Chastain putting it in the box now. Chance here that is denied. But Tisha Venturini was right there to take the shot. And a deflection by a French defender. We have a corner kick now for the United States.
Well, the person who really makes this play is Christine Lilly. She's right there. Great deception. You can see right here, there's the cross. Lilly, great deception. Venturini's right there, and there's just a deflection. That might have been in.
On the corner kick, Sandrine Roux, the keeper, punching it away and doing a nice job in traffic for the French team.
Christine Lilly, you can see something we might want to watch for today is Christine Lilly getting right in front of that goalkeeper and obstructing her in every sense within the realm of propriety to give the United States an advantage.
I like that, within the realm of propriety. We'll have to have our lawyers work that one up. Look at Christine Lilly. Always a factor for the United States team. A throw-in. Coming up for the French team is Pearce doing a good job shutting down the left flank. And Briana Scurry has this one red. First half action here at Pepin Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Part of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour to celebrate the gold medal accomplishment. As Mary and I documented also, looking at the foundation point for the World Cup in 1999, which will be hosted by the United States. Speaking of foundation, United States on the attack. MacMillan crossing it. This is going to be tough for Sandrine Roux, and she is able to collect it.
It's a nice takedown by goalkeeper Roux. The wind is a bit unpredictable. She's with it all the way, stayed with it, came right down with it.
You see the cross by MacMillan.
Exactly. Roux just looks, finally just goes up and gets it. She's got a challenge there by Tisha Venturini, but she goes up strong, comes down with it. That's good goalkeeping.
So what we might expect from a veteran of her stature. A lot of time with this French national team.
The other thing that might be a factor today is you can see Briana Scurry's punts are going about 3/4 of the field. Christine Lilly, that last series, was able to get in off a Scurry punt, so you can probably see the United States going long like that just to get in quickly.
Take advantage of that, her ability to kick it, and also I think the way the wind direction is going as well, so they need to take advantage of that in the first half.
Exactly, because the second half, it's not going to be that way probably.
As we see here, Sandrine Roux, that one, certainly not to her liking, but it literally caught a gust of wind and pushes it back, so an advantage here for the United States. And we saw winds up to 20 miles per hour. But the French team able to sort it out. Elodie Wouk putting it forward. Steve Mugneray trying to slot it out to the wing. Nicely read by the United States. Now Julie Foudy. Foudy, though, under pressure. Subaran coming up with a tackle, and now she has possession of the ball. She looks to the left flank, but really no one there to make a run, and it will be possession to the United States. We hear Tony DiCicco right below us. It sounds like he may be making an adjustment. He was saying something about Tammy Pearman going up top.
Exactly. He's going to bring Robin Confer back to play outside midfield on the right side, and he's going to throw Tammy Pearman up top. This presents a real difficulty for the French team because Tammy Pearman's the fastest player on the field for the United States. If she gets a hold of a long through ball, she could be in. Robin
Confer, star at the University of North Carolina, made her debut on the United States tour of Australia, getting her first 3 caps and played the other night in Greensboro, close to where she played college, of course, at Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina. That'll be a goal kick coming up for the French team. In fact, Robin Confer.
It's her first international goal.
Getting, in fact, the first goal of that game, 24th minute against France, and the 4-2 victory, the first leg of the victory tour. Look at Robin Confer, playing for Anson Dorrance, former national team coach at the University of North Carolina. Sandrine Roux, again, you see the goal kick bending basically out of play. Maybe a throw-in, though, on this occasion for the French.
A lot of balls that you see played in the air are just going to, played against the wind, are just going to stop and kind of die and drop, and you can see that happening already.
Robin Confer tracking back, we'll put it back to Briana Scurry.
great clearance by Briana Scurry.
Ricocheting off Tammy Pearman, and now the United States battling for control. But France coming up with it. Good work under pressure by the French team. Brandi Chastain taking out of the air, now pressure. Sara Whalen now coming through the middle. A chance here for Stephanie Mugneray. She puts it out wide to Jocelyn Gut, who takes the shot, but that hits the side netting. But again, we saw a situation where the United States is absorbing a lot of pressure.
Exactly. The United States always plays with a three-man back, and they're playing zone defense at the back. There's just 3 of them back there, and coordination is really the key for the United States. It's never easy to bring in 2 players at the back. They're doing quite well in spite of the fact that they may not be used to zone marking. Usually college games are man-to-man. So doing quite well considering, but they need to have a few things they need to iron out, I think.
So the shot advantage in favor of France, and not surprisingly, they've had most of the play in the opening moments here. They try to work the right side. Kristine Lilly nicely coming back to win the ball. Tammy Pearman now over there on the left side. She started in midfield. Looks like she's going to be playing more forward. And work it back to Brandi Chastain, and she can expect pressure. And Zanone forward, putting the pressure on. And this is a time for the United States team to work new players in, exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing Robin Confer, Tammy Pearman in the lineup today. All slotted for Kristine Lilly. They're clear to the back. And now Julie Foudy heading it forward. Confer winning the ball. She gets a step. And here's a chance for the United States. Puts it back, trying to get it to Kristine Lilly. Just didn't have enough pace on her.
It's a good run by Lilly to get into the space. She was a great option. Just didn't quite get the ball.
Challenge at midfield and a foul called against Sandrine Soubiran. Soubiran getting the foul. Free kick for the United States. Here comes Robin Confer, putting it through the middle. I think they wanted to play that off to Julie Foudy. It's Shannon MacMillan playing up top there today for the United States. Tiffany Milbert was supposed to start, Mary, but I guess the back here bothering her a bit.
She had a sore back. They were stretching it out during the pregame, and I guess it just didn't loosen up for her. So at the last minute, she decided she'd just take a rest today. Or rather, the coaching staff decided she'd take a rest today. I think Tiffany makes that decision. And so Kerry Connors is in.
A good chance for Kerry Connors from the University of Connecticut. Get a chance, the number 5 player. Back to Kerry Connors with only 2 caps to her credit, so a chance to add another. Christie Pearce working it up the left side to Kerry Connors. Dave Johnson, Mary Harvey in Tampa, Florida. The United States and France. U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour. United States in the white, France in the blue, and the United States now trying to form the attack. Christie Pearce lunging forward from her back position. And now for the United States, a corner kick coming up. So an excellent opportunity here, Mary.
Exactly. It's great to see Christie Pearce just willing to go forward, willing to make that commitment to get numbers up and to create an advantage.
Now, of course, she is a forward by trade, but playing a defensive spot, so certainly she feels comfortable in that role.
Exactly. She's probably very comfortable, in fact, going forward. Maybe the problem is getting her to stay at home, but that was a great run by her part.
Shannon MacMillan storming through. She'll take the shot, ricocheting in traffic off a French defender, so it will be a corner kick again for the United States. It's Julie Foudy and MacMillan. Now MacMillan will make the cross. That one ricochets, but a dangerous ricochet. Mugneray doing well to try to clear it, but still the French team under pressure. Jocelyn Gut putting it forward.
You can see how condensed the United States is. They've really condensed from the back, forcing France to play in really tight space. That's the whole objective behind the compression that the U.S. does from the back.
At that time, a quick free kick that backfired, going right to Sandrine Roux, the goalkeeper for the French team. And the French team, so far, doing a good job not only closing down the United States opportunities, but also creating some opportunities of their own. Robin Confer putting it in the middle to Shannon MacMillan. MacMillan, nice ball for Kristine Lilly, but it's knocked away by Hillion-Guillemin at the back.
It's a good run by Lilly. Nice ball by MacMillan just to get her in. More runs like that are definitely going to get people in today. They're going to be very effective.
Jocelyn Gut shutting down Shannon MacMillan. And you see the wind holding that one up, and Christie Pearce able to get onto it. Now Brandi Chastain trying to put one through to Christine Lilly. The flag up, and I think we have our first offside of the afternoon. So a free kick for the French team. No score here, first half of play. About 24 minutes left here in the first half. It was in the 24th minute of this first meeting of this victory tour. The United States got their first goal against France, and a foul against Tammy Pearman. Sandrine Ringler getting called for the foul. United States getting the white jerseys, France in the blue. Nice work by Brandi Chastain doing.
Brandi's got ice in her veins sometimes, I think.
Well, she obviously felt the pressure of Angelique Roux, but she was able to calmly send it upfield. But well, that ball is getting upfield rather quick in that direction. Chastain lofting one. Christine Lilly battling to get onto it, but the defense, Corinne Diacre, putting it back to her keeper, and now it will be a goal kick. Let's see what they've awarded.
So it might be a throw-in or
a throw-in.
Throw-in. No, it's a goal kick.
No,
You're
they
right.
did. Yeah, they said they had some discussion about that. Did Nancy Lear with one of her referee assistants? Well, we mentioned, Mary, how Brandi Chastain handles pressure, and well, with some deft footwork.
Brandi's a very skilled player. Was a forward before she was converted to a defender. Very, very comfortable with the ball, and you could see that in that last series. Really calm, just does what she needs to do to get out of trouble, and she serves the ball forward.
And really, with the way the game is being played, is going to be played, you need to be comfortable with your feet at the back.
Absolutely. Everybody needs to, especially with just 3 back there. Everyone's got to be very comfortable. And you also need, absolutely, to have really complete players back there. It's not just bashing the ball forward. You got to be able to get yourself out of tight situations and possess the ball. The U.S. has done very, very well in the last year and a half, probably, from the back, doing that very well.
France now trying to win the ball at midfield. Anzanone knocked away by Sara Whalen, but the French recover. Souberan putting it out wide. Jocelyn Gout slotting the ball ahead. Stephanie Mugnaret tried to run onto it, but Brandi Chastain, as the central defender should, had everything red at the back.
Exactly. Brandi's very good at just looking at problems as they occur and stepping up to solve them when things go bad back there.
Nice ball out to the wing by Tisha Venturini, and the attack continues. Shannon MacMillan, and this should be a goal kick as it ricocheted off Shannon MacMillan, as Corinne Diacre making the stop for the French team. But they were able to open up some space on the wing.
Exactly. Great deception. Gets MacMillan in. A little unlucky. She got tackled. That's a great, great series right there.
Shannon MacMillan, of course, one of the heroes of the Olympic Games. It was a Shannon MacMillan goal versus Norway in the semifinals. The golden goal that put the United States into the gold medal game against China, and she also had a goal along with Tiffany Milbert in that final in the 2-1 win over China before way over 70,000 in Athens, Georgia. Now Elodie Roux on the attack for France, and shut down there by Sara Whalen. But Elodie Roux was sprung free.
Exactly. Roux was in. Whalen just made the commitment, chased her down, and was able to get in with a tackle at the end.
Watch Sara Whalen.
See the pursuit and the work rate. Roux in, gets in. That's great defending. Gets it out to the side.
Anzanone will take the corner kick for the French team as they have a chance here. France now, Zanone. Scurry coming out to punch it. It is loose and now cleared. Jocelyn Gout was in the middle there for the French team, putting the pressure on Briana Scurry. A good team defense. That's a difficult moment when the keeper doesn't get a clear punch on that.
Exactly. The wind can be holding it up. You don't quite know how the ball's flying down there. It looks one way from the sidelines, but when you're actually in the ball, you think it's going to do one thing, and all of a sudden it drops right in front of you. Also looked like she was in a bit of traffic, got bumped a little bit. Good composure by the U.S. defense to really plug in and clear the ball up forward.
You've played against this French team in the past. Just by looking at them so far, can you see improvement in this French team from last year to this year?
Absolutely. Their playmaking through the midfield is really improved a great deal. They're very composed in the midfield. Their shape looks very good, and they're getting people in. They're now playing with a 3-man front line. I don't believe they were playing that last year. So, and they've been dangerous today. They've gotten opportunities.
Saw Aimé Mignol, the head coach of the French team, as they get set for the Women's Euro Championships. And the United States, by our count, with a 7-0 record against France and a commanding 26-5 advantage in goals. So certainly the French team would like to try to make amends for that. But for the United States, they like to win on home turf. Like to win, period. Julie Foudy stepping up, putting it wide to Christine Lilly, but the flag is up.
Just off. Christine Lilly comfortable, obviously, out there on the left flank. She gets the ball. She's going to look to serve. She's got a very hard serve, bends a bit, so it's very tricky for defenses to have to deal with.
Free kick for the French team. Look at very talented Christine Lilly.
Member of the Elite 100 Club.
125 caps and counting. Of course, Julie Foudy joining that club against France on Thursday, getting her 100th cap. So free kick coming up for the French team. Corinne Diacre will take the free kick. Again, interesting, the offensive progress. Certainly France has to be happy. Their top scorer not in the lineup today. This one will present problems for Briana Scurry, but she is able to collect it. Ball placed about 12 yards out.
Exactly. It looked like the ball did something funny there at the end. Briana's right there, called for it, had it the whole way, came up with it.
In midfield, Shannon MacMillan now trying to control this. Instead, Stephanie Ringler sending it upfield, and a foul at midfield. And let's see if Nancy Lay decides to book Anne-Zanone. I think she will. We have our first yellow card. Anne-Zanone.
Brandi goes up hard for this header, gets bumped. Ouch, that looks like that hurt.
First yellow card of the match. Christine Lilly under immediate pressure from Hillion-Guillemin. Now Sara Whalen getting her chance to get 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year out of UConn. But at the back, France has it sorted out. Pressure, though, by the United States. And this is certainly the United States wants to do more of this, but typically the pressure the United States is able to put on teams has been one of their keys to success.
Exactly. The United States is able to do that because they really try to compress the field. You can see the whole defensive line really pushes up, making that middle third a very, very congested place to play in. That's why the United States is so able to put pressure on teams and win possession.
Confirming the yellow card to Anne-Zanone. Fouling Brandi Chastain. United States in the white, France in the blue. Dave Johnson, former U.S. national team goalkeeper Mary Harvey with you from Tampa, Florida for this U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour match. And good footwork by Ringler at the back.
Ringler's been very composed all day today. She's been very comfortable with the ball and has gotten out of some tight spaces with her technical ability. Good look by Tammy Pearman. She saw the right option, which was Robin Confer on the right. Confer weaving her magic. Now Venturini will send this one, but Sandrine Roux is there. It's a good look by Tisha Venturini. She had an opportunity to shoot. No one stepped up to pressure, so she took it. See right here, Venturini's got the space. Just barely squeezes off a shot. Just getting it off, you saw in that replay, Stephanie Mugnaret was just about to close her down. Already getting a shot off and an opportunity. And Sandrine Roux in the wind, able to read it. Christie Pearce holding onto it too long, and Anne-Zanone comes up with a steal. Now Mugnaret will put it over to Hillion-Guillemin. And she forms the attack for the French team. Jocelyn Gout trying to get free on that right flank. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the French team. France has done a good job of working the ball through the midfield and switching the point of the attack. There you see there, they start on one side, 2 passes, bang, they're on the other side. Gave up possession, but you can see that they're very good at changing the point of the attack. Free kick actually awarded, the foul that was against Gout. Now Diacre putting it through, Zanone trying to pounce on it, it's cleared nicely by Christie Pearce. Angelique Roujas was also in the area. Exactly. Little tight situation there. Christie Pearce just comes in, clears it, is safe, clears it up out about the middle third of the field.
And she is one of the new stories we're talking about for this U.S. national team, getting a chance out of Monmouth College, where she scored 79 goals, but she's playing on defense.
Exactly. Incredible athlete. She plays a variety of sports. She plays basketball for Monmouth as well, starting point guard, and certainly she's quick, got great athletic ability, and she looks tough.
Down the right side, France in the blue, continuing the battle for control. From the back, Diacre putting a long ball forward. Zanone was making the run, but Briana Scurry was able to collect it. Brandi Chastain was keeping the mark on Anne Zanone.
One thing you'll see for the United States, when they do condense from the back, that leaves a great deal of space in the back for Briana Scurry to cover. And one thing that Scurry has been working on very, very well, especially during the Olympic tournament, was to be able to close that space, anticipate balls being played back, and be able to run forward off her line and collect those balls either with her feet or with her hands if it permits, which really gives the United States a very secure feeling back there, even though they're very exposed.
Brandi Chastain feeling the pressure here, a possible 2-on-1 situation, and the correct option there just to concede the throw-in. As Angelique Roux and Anne Zanone were putting the pressure, it was basically a 2-on-1. DiCicco directing from the sidelines. What might he be saying at this point?
Well, I think the United States is doing a good job. They're getting a little settled down. They're solving breakdowns in the back very, very well. Defense looks like it's really coming together.
And a foul by Tammy Pearman just outside the box against Jocelyn Gout, but that was just right on the fringe of the box, so this is a dangerous free kick.
See her coming right in. A little bit of a shove there in the back. Yeah, exactly. She tried to get to the ball, got the player, and it's a free kick.
Free kick for the French team. Almost in the box, which would have been a penalty kick. Coming from the back, Locatelli taking the shot. Cecile Locatelli, one of the central defenders, and now the French team keeping the pressure on. Mugneray putting it on Venturini, and now the shot will be taken. Briana Scurry having to put it over the bars. Sandrine Souberan taking the shot.
Exactly, that shot, she just turned around and cracked it. Had her back to goal, turned around, took the shot. Briana Scurry with great positioning. You can see here, she just cracked this. Briana Scurry's great positioning, able to get back, and just gives it that tip over the top. That's a great save.
Sandrine Souberan with the opportunity, and indeed, Scurry preventing France from getting the lead on the United States. And Zanone to take the corner kick. Scurry punching it away. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for the French team. So the French pressure in this case, Mary Harvey, is what pays off. Robin Confer, though, winning the ball, and now out of tight spaces, they're going to try to work it. Instead, a foul is called. Otherwise, Elodie Wouk would have a chance to get on goal, but a handball called against the French team. So 11:40 left first half, free kick United States.
The wind's beginning to kick up a little bit now. It's a good decision, perhaps, if you're a defender to just clear it, or if you're a goalkeeper to really just punch like you saw Briana Scurry do. You're not quite sure what the wind's going to make the ball do. Just be safe, get it out of there.
That one going out of play on the far side as we look at the French team. And then Mignon, again, the head coach. The team has a pretty favorable draw in the Women's Euro Championships. They're not in a group with either Norway or Germany, of course, two of the powers of the European women's soccer, so they're pretty confident about that. And so they have to play the games, and again, they continue with this pressure. Sandrine Souberan winning the ball. Now Angelique Roux going forward, but it's Sara Whalen to put it back safely to her keeper, Briana Scurry.
It's a good early decision by Whalen. She knows that Briana's her best option, and she gives her a good ball back. Scurry just brings it back, and we have possession.
Again, that's a situation that for the youngsters out there, it's oftentimes better to play the ball the way you're facing.
Exactly. She was facing Scurry. It's her best option.
Julie Foudy trying to bring it through midfield, but Stephanie Mugneray winning the ball. And now the French team again with a chance in transition. Kerry Connors, though, helping to slow things down. 10 minutes left here, the first half. Robin Confer coming up with a big steal. Now the United States bringing numbers up. Tammy Pearman making sure everyone on side. Confer to MacMillan. MacMillan now trying to create the space. The French able to get the numbers back. And MacMillan unable to serve this one, and it will be a goal kick.
That whole series, that whole possession right there was created by Tisha Venturini. She put pressure on the French player, forced her into cover where Robin Confer was able to make the tackle, and the United States has an opportunity on goal.
But a goal kick now for Sandrine Roux. I would think at this point, the longer this match goes scoreless, the more confidence, apparently already confident, French team would get.
Well, the United States has calmed down and really settled down since the beginning of the game. They're a lot more composed. France, though, is playing with confidence, that's for sure. And the second half, they'll have the win. So the longer this goes scoreless, as you say, the more interesting it becomes.
France now trying to control it at midfield. Angelique Roux with a burst of speed to get out to the left flank. Now Roux looking to put it to Anzanone. She pounces on it, and she scores! It's in the net! It's in the net, a goal! Anzanone with the goal, but credit Angelique Roux with the ball.
It's a great cross by Roux. She finds it. Zanoni makes a great run right between two defenders and gets in. It's sort of that spot right between the last defender and the space the goalkeeper has. It's very difficult to play in. Here's the cross. You see this great run by Zanoni right between two defenders, and she's able to stick it in. There's that run. Scurry closes best she can, but she really has a wide open chance, and she sticks it in.
And Zanoni with the goal. And you mentioned her at the outset with Marinette Vachon not in the match, that they would look to her for scoring, and indeed, that has played true.
Exactly. She's the next most experienced forward on the French line this afternoon, and she's the one really they're going to look to be putting goals in. So certainly she's done that already. We'll look to see what if she can keep it up for the rest of the match.
So the United States team, after a 4-2 win over France in the first leg of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour, now facing a 1-0 deficit. And this is the first time that France has ever had a lead early in the first half. Of course, on Thursday, the United States getting the first goal. From the back, Sara Whalen. So France, first time they've been able to break through in the first half. In fact, in that match in Greensboro, it was actually France scoring in the 45th minute of that first half to tie it 1-1 after they fell behind 1-0. But now they have the position of being ahead 1-0.
Actually, I think last year in St. Louis, the United States went down 1-0 as well before coming back to win 4-1. The United States, though, is a team that doesn't get bugged if it's behind. They really just focus on what they're trying to do and really try to put things together and work through getting in and getting their attack going. I don't think they're going to get put off by being behind.
Shannon MacMillan certainly not put off as she goes forward. Hillion-Guillemin putting it away, and it will be a corner kick coming up for the United States. So our Budweiser scoring summary. Anzanone with the goal. Assist from Angelique Roux. That accounts for our scoreline. So a corner kick now for the United States. Again, the United States in the white, France in the blue. Shannon MacMillan driving this one. It's over far post. The header, it's in the net, a goal. Tisha Venturini with the goal.
That is just a great goal. Shannon MacMillan hammers this cross in. Tisha Venturini's right there, gets a running start, and just hammers this into the back of the net.
Tisha Venturini putting it in the net and tying this game. And MacMillan, a cross no one could handle.
She hammers these things across. Goalkeeper comes out, judgment error. Look at Venturini, just comes in and hammers this thing.
Look at the velocity on that one from MacMillan into the wind.
Exactly, it's spinning out away from the goal into Tisha Venturini's head, which allows her to get more power. Just great technique, comes back. Defender there, but she just can't get enough of it, and it's tied, 1-1.
And also a substitution made, Mary Harvey. Thori Staples checking in, replacing Tammy Pearman. So Thori Staples will go to the back. And we'll have to see how the United States juggles the lineup. We'll get to that in just a moment as France quickly coming back on the attack. So Tammy Pearman replaced by Thori Staples. So it looks like Christie Pearce is going to move up a little bit forward, Mary Harvey.
I think we'll look to see Christie Pearce in the midfield now. Give her a chance, perhaps a wing midfielder. She likes to go forward.
Sandrine putting it to Zanoni, and she puts it to Briana Scurry, but again, putting it to the 6-yard box, and France coming right back after conceding the goal.
Exactly. France isn't gonna hide. They're really coming out. They're going after the United States. They're getting in. Briana Scurry with good positioning there. Covers her far post.
Julie Foudy under pressure. Stephanie Mugnaret, it'll be a throw-in coming up for the French team. So with 5.5 minutes left, 1-1 the score. And what has been, I think, best described, a very competitive match. France certainly eager to get their first win against the United States. Sara Whalen under pressure. Now Tisha Venturini trying to get it to Christine Lilly on the flank. But Hillion-Guillemin showing her experience to head it away. Been one of the 2 French players with over 50 caps. So it'll be a throw-in for the French team. From the back, Thori Staples. Thori Staples, very talented defender. We'll talk about her when we get a chance. Shannon MacMillan coming on the attack for Christie Pearce. Pearce stepping up, steps over the ball as Ringler under defense. Now coming through, and a save by Sandrine Roux. The ball is still alive. Thori Staples saving up, and that went off the dashboard.
Thori Staples, if you put that in, that would have been her first international goal. It's a great series by the United States. They get in line. Pearce does a great job stepping over the ball. She serves it, sees an opening back post. Let's go. MacMillan has the diving header. There's a great save.
And Kerry Connors with a chance there as well. And Thori Staples with the final chance, but again,
see her look and find that person open back post. She sees MacMillan. MacMillan has a great diving header. That's a great reaction save. 2 in a row by the goalkeeper.
Sandrine Roux coming up with 2 very good saves to preserve a 1-1 game.
She's certainly showing her international experience there. Coming up with 2 big saves just when her team needed it.
Now Thori Staples trying to track this one down, and she does. She's able to win it from the very dangerous Ann Zanoni, who's already showed her danger this afternoon with 1 goal.
Thori Staples has only been in a couple minutes, but already she's starting to make an impact on this game. She's been able to maintain possession, win some tackles, maintain possession, and then she's going forward, getting in the attack on that last series.
We take a look at our Budweiser scoring summary in the 40th minute. Tisha Venturini equalizing. Coming up at halftime, we have a chance to talk with Donna DeBarona, the chair of the organizing committee for the Women's World Cup in 1999. Again, that's one of the reasons why this stretch is so important, because as you know, Mary Harvey, when you say, well, it's 2 years away, that's a very short time when you're talking World Cup preparation.
Exactly. It takes so long to really prepare and hone your team in for such a big event, especially one that is so important to the United States as host nation and as a country that's eager to regain the title. The United States really puts an enormous amount of preparation into every international competition, certainly for the 95 World Cup and the Olympics as well. So really the time to really be working on it is now, and certainly Tony DiCicco is bringing in lots of new players to get a look at everyone, see who's there, and to build some depth into his veteran squad.
As they also try to project who will be a part of that team in 1999, and that's why they get a look at some of the younger players, a chance to develop in series like this, the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour, celebrating, of course, the gold medal accomplishment in 1996. Shannon MacMillan. And just that first touch got away from it. So we're under 2 minutes left here in the first half of play as we look at Shannon MacMillan. You talk about celebrating victory, of course. That moment, beating Norway last year in the semifinals with that golden goal.
She came in off the bench with fresh legs. She's an explosive player, and she really sort of took Norway by surprise, made a great slashing run behind the defense on a pass from Foudy, and was the golden goal, sent the United States to the gold medal match. It was a huge defining moment for the United States in the Olympics.
The 100th minute of that match. Now Christine Lilly try to win possession of foul against France, so it'll be a free kick for the United States. Tisha Venturini, good read there to work it out to the flag. Kerry Connors getting onto it. But that is the end of the first half of play. So as Connors trying to get forward, Nancy Lay signaling that we are complete with 45 minutes here from Peppin Roux Stadium here in Tampa, Florida, the second leg of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour. And at halftime, a 1-1 scoreline between these two teams. And of course, it was the French team against Greensboro, in Greensboro, I should say. Also with a similar situation, was 1-1 in the last meeting between these two clubs. And we're with head coach Tony DiCicco. Tony, first of all, your thoughts on this first 45 minutes. Is France able to get a lead?
Well, I'm not that pleased with our play. It doesn't look like we have any urgency. We're not possessing the ball well. So let's see if we can make some corrections at halftime. But right now, it's a problem of mentality. And if the United States doesn't have the mentality to outwork its opponent and outplay its opponent on every single individual duel, then we're going to struggle. And we're struggling a bit now. Give credit to France. They're opportunists. They've done some very good things to disrupt our play, and we're going to have to correct those in the second half.
All right, Tony DiCicco, best of luck with your halftime talk and in the second half of play. 1-1, the score here in Tampa, Florida, between the United States and France as we continue with the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour.
That's 1-800-352-2121 toll free. 1-800-352-2121.
Tampa, Florida, La Place for a U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour match between France and the United States. 1-1 is our halftime score. Dave Johnson back with former U.S. national team goalkeeper Mary Harvey, and indeed we saw a very entertaining first half of play between the United States and France. We take a look at some of those highlights, and the French team able to get out to the early lead on a goal by Anne Zanoni.
Exactly. Here, there's a great cross. Zanoni splits two defenders, is able to get in. Briana Scurry does her best to close it, but it's a great shot, and it's in.
Angelique Roux with that wonderful ball now. Corner kick here for the United States.
MacMillan hammers this cross across the goal. Venturini comes in, really gets a good header on it, very strong header. There's a deflection. Defender tries to save it at the end, but it goes into the net.
Tisha Venturini with the goal, the piercing header. Then at the end of the first half, the United States with a couple of wonderful opportunities.
Here's a great deception by Pearce, gets it across. She's MacMillan with a diving header. Great first save by Roux. Great second save by Roux. The United States. Then Thori Staples comes in.
And has another chance, but the French team able to close that down. But we take a look at the halftime numbers, and boy, is reflected on the scoreboard from most of the departments, a pretty even game, and the French showing their attacking ability.
Exactly. United States, you can see it in the save stat. The United States actually, Briana Scurry's had to make one more save. She's been busy today. Certainly also on corner kicks, it's been pretty even as well.
All right, the United States and France tied at 1 here at halftime. We're coming back with more from Tampa, Florida. Dave Johnson, Mary Harvey back in Tampa, Florida, 1-1. The scoreline at halftime between France and the United States. And right now we have a very special guest joining us here from Tampa, Florida. Michelle Akers is with us, of course, star of the U.S. national team, but not with the national team right now. And Michelle, of course, right now you're recovering from knee surgeries, understand it. Update us on your health and when you expect to be back on the field.
Not soon enough, in my opinion. I'm doing great. I'm under new treatment from a new doc, a chronic illness specialist for the chronic fatigue syndrome, and he's given me a great prognosis of full recovery if I adhere to his rules, so I'm doing that. And I'm also rehabbing full-time, and my knee is coming along strong. I'm out on the field playing and having a blast. So I'm looking forward to being with the team again in August.
So we're looking at August U.S. Soccer Festival, perhaps?
Yep, I'll be there.
It's got to be hard today, Mish, having to not being able to be out there. I mean, certainly you've been such a great inspiration to this team and a great presence on the field. It's a little difficult today. You're on the having to watch.
Yeah, I keep wanting to raise my hand and say, Tony, put me in! But it's encouraging to see that I don't have far to go to jump back onto the field, but it's also a lot different from when we were in the Olympics this past summer. We have a little bit of work to do.
Certainly a lot of celebration. Now, Michelle, we want to see you back on the field, but the next best thing, we've got a clip of one of your goals from last year. I believe this one, in fact, was from U.S. Cup last year against China at RFK Stadium. Do you happen to remember that goal?
I remember it. I ripped it.
No question about it. You ripped it. And, of course, foreshadowing of things to come, of course, your thoughts as you look back on the Olympics and what really we're doing with this victory tour, a celebration of what you and your teammates accomplished in Athens, Georgia.
Well, the one thing that stands out is when we stood together on the podium with those gold medals wrapped around our neck and hanging on our chests. I tell you what, through all the stuff that we had been through, for losing the '95 World Cup and finally becoming world champs, Olympic gold medalists again, it was quite a moment.
Well, it was quite a moment, and listen, we want to see you back on the field ripping them, okay?
I'm there.
You look great, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Michelle Akers joining us as we get set for the second half of play here between the United States and France on this U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour. It's a second leg of a six-city tour. We'll be updating you later in the match about where you can see this United States team coming next. In fact, they'll be playing next in Milwaukee on the 2nd of May against South Korea. U.S. Soccer and this regional sports network would like to thank Kodak and all other U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing today's game action to be brought to you commercial-free. Mary Harvey, what do you expect from the second half? And what might have Tony DiCicco's thoughts been at halftime as he talked to his players?
Well, he mentioned, as he alluded to right before we went to halftime, he wants to see a little more fight and fire in his United States team, and I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see the United States really come out and go after him. You can certainly see right there. Shannon's already putting pressure. The United States is really going to go after France this half, I think.
Cecile Locatelli forced to concede a corner kick, so just as you were describing it, that's exactly what's happened. So Tracy is now Ducar is in the match. It was Tracy Noonan in goal, just getting married. She is in a change of goal as this one at the other end of the goal, United States, Brandi Chastain putting the pressure on. Bends it back, and this one slotted by Julie Foudy, but cleared. We saw a big gaping hole in that net that Foudy was trying to bury the ball.
It's a great serve by Brandi Chastain. She sees she's got Foudy open in a small seam. She drills this ball right across. Hard ball to handle, but great placement by Chastain.
So Briana Scurry has been replaced by Tracy Ducar, just getting married. As we said, was Tracy Noonan, so she is in the United States goal.
Exactly. Quite a way to spend your honeymoon, huh?
That's right. Well, it is Tampa, Florida, but with some rather serious business to take care of.
The United States has a wealth of experience in Briana Scurry with over 40 international appearances. They really need to take a look at blooding a new goalkeeper and really getting some international experience. So certainly Tracy has done very, very well in the past. She's a good, solid goalkeeper, very good with her feet. And really all that she needs is international games, and that's exactly what Tony's giving her today.
We scan the field, we see that Candy Hebert is also checked in for the French team. So they have made a substitution. We'll have to try to confirm who she has replaced. So I do not see Ann Zanoni out there, Mary. So that may be the substitution.
I think Zanoni is in fact out. Hebert is a very young player. She was off the U20 squad and was pretty effective last game, although she didn't score. So she could prove to be a problem today. So
listen, so you get a goal, you get a rest is the French philosophy. Marinette Pichon scoring 2 in Greensboro against the United States team. She gets the day off. Ann Zanoni getting a goal in the first half, and she now has the second half off. Brandi Chastain, she's under some pressure from Jocelyn Good, but I think you alluded to it. She does have the ice-watered veins, or whatever description you want to use.
Brandi's very, very comfortable. She senses pressure, and she really does a good job of just getting out of trouble very quickly.
I think she senses it, but doesn't feel it. Sarah Whalen at the back. Although the French team, this has been part of their success today, and we're seeing it here. They've kept a good amount of pressure on the United States back. Corinne Diacre has that one read and sends it upfield. Thori Staples, a substitute in the first half for the United States team, will track it down. touch on the ball now. A player you need to watch in the future, perhaps, of the U.S. national team. Certainly off to a good start, Sara Whalen. Christine Lilly showing for the ball. Julie Foudy. Trying to really unlock that French pressure. Venturini challenged. Kerry Connors had gone forward. Jocelyn Coot intervening.
Coach DiCicco indicating he'd like to see his wing midfielders check back to receive the ball, giving a little better option.
For players like Tisha Venturini to link up.
Exactly.
Hillion-Guillemin on the throw-in. Foul called, a free kick coming up here for the United States. 1-1 the scores. We look at Kerry Connors, who was one of the wing midfielders you were talking about, playing on the outside. Again, a newcomer to the United States national team, but someone that Thori DiCicco very confident in. And the Hebert flicking it ahead. No one to run onto it. Now Thori Staples are trying to change the direction of the field. We're in Tampa, Florida. Dave Johnson with Mary Harvey. In a 1-1 contest between the United States and France. I think also what we're seeing here, Mary, illustrated today is why the United States needs more matches, needs to get more players involved, because the rest of the world really is continuing to improve their standard of women's soccer, and that'll be a factor in 1999.
Absolutely. The United States doesn't have the luxury of being able to have its players that are out of college play in a league. And certainly France, Germany, Norway, Sweden, all the other international powerhouses are playing in leagues right now. They get about 50 games a year. And this is how we're doing it. We're just playing lots of international matches and really just trying to make it up through lots of training days.
Goal kick coming up for the United States team, and Tracy Ducar, as we take a look at our Budweiser summary, update you on how we've got to this point. And Zanone, who is no longer in the contest, will go in the 37th minute. And Tisha Venturini off the corner kick in the 40th minute. That accounts for our scoring so far this afternoon in Tampa, Florida. 1-1 is the scoreline. And it's also hot here in Tampa, Florida. The French team. Candy Hebert stepping up, takes the shot. That one sails, but an excellent opportunity there for Candy Hebert just into the game.
She just gets in, gets an opportunity to intercept a pass. A goal kick from Tracy Ducar comes in and just get the shot off really quickly. It's a good look, good shot, just misses high. Ducar did well to get over and try to cover it, but dodged a bullet by the United States.
1-1 game again. This one providing a lot of tension. And it was 1-1 in their previous meeting. Shannon MacMillan. We hear the shouts of push up from the U.S. bench.
Coach DiCicco indicating he'd really like to have his defenders really condense the midfield, really put pressure on the French team to have to play make in a very tight space.
And when the United States had success in the first half, it was during stretches when they accomplished that. So a free kick for the French team. Corinne Diacre will put this one in play. She surveys. Hebert getting up for that, but it'll be a goal kick. Well, we mentioned this is the second leg of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour, and the tour moves on. Started in Greensboro, goes here to Tampa, now to Milwaukee on the 2nd of May against South Korea, then St. Charles, Illinois on the 4th of May. And then San Jose at Spartan Stadium, home of the San Jose Clash against England, and then to Portland, Oregon, University of Portland for the match against England. So if it comes to your area, please, by all means, support U.S. women's soccer and celebrate the accomplishment of the gold medal and a chance to gaze into the future for the 1999 World Cup. Christine Lilly taking it play. Hillion-Guillemin winning the ball and then winning the throw-in. Good crowd on hand this afternoon at Pepin Root Stadium on the campus of the University of Tampa. I think they're seeing maybe a closer match than they thought they would see. Jocelyn Boot centers the ball nicely. And Mugdare was running onto it. Subiran. It's a difficult ball that Tracy Ducar is able to come up with, but no margin for error there.
It's an important first save for Ducar. It's always important when you first come into a game to get a good handle on the ball and make a save or just get a chance to touch the ball a little bit. Doesn't even hesitate, comes right off her line, has it all the way, and makes a good save.
And the French team continues with their attack. Marinette Perchon is in the match. Perchon will send this one, and it will be a goal kick coming up. So Marinette Perchon, who scored the 2 goals in the earlier meeting in Greensboro, is into the match. So they've put 2 new front runners up front for the French team. In fact, you look at her numbers against the United States, she's done okay. 3 goals, 2 assists in 4 games.
Exactly. She's been very, very effective the last couple times she's played the United States. She's been in the match scoring goals and just generally becoming somewhat of a nuisance. Defenders always have to keep track of where she is on the field and what she's doing. You can't leave her alone for a second because she's going to hurt you.
Brandi Chastain now for the United States. Julie Foudy trying to be that link in the midfield. Kerry Connors is already running upfield. Allows Jocelyn Gut to win the ball. Thori Staples and Perchon battling, but Perchon gets called for the foul. A little cheeky push on the part of Perchon to try to get some space. But Thori Staples was there.
Perchon's doing a good job of making diagonal slashing runs into the space. Her other forwards are able to find her from the flank on these slashing runs, and she's able to get into a seam and make some opportunities for herself.
Now Sara Whalen. And if you're just joining us, she is one of the new faces. Nice ball for Robin Confer out of University of Connecticut is Whalen. Robin Confer stepping upfield, but Corinne Diacre was able to pry that one away, and now Marinette Perchon tracking back to win the ball. Tisha Venturini, though, stopping her. And that is so big for a midfielder like Tisha Venturini to be able to stop Perchon. But let's watch again Sara Whalen with that ball.
It's a great service. She gets Confer in. Confer's end line. She has an opportunity. She's got Shannon MacMillan at the back post, but that whole series was created by that great pass to get Confer in.
Sara Whalen, hoping that she'll be a part of 1999. And Whalen again at the back and lost control of that. She, I think, wanted to step over than send it upfield, but instead that one skims out of play. Look at her, 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. On the throw it, Candy Hebert for the French team. Chastain has trapped it and cleared it. And Confer showing for it.
Up the line, come on, up the line.
Lilly sending it for MacMillan, but that one spins out of play. In the United States team, not with Mia Hamm today, a death in the family. Brother Garrett passing away last week, so she is not with this United States national team, but will join them later on the victory tour. Jocelyn Boot to Candy Hebert as they try to work out a tight corner. It's a challenge by Robin Confer and Kerry Connors. On the throw-in. Brandi Chastain will send it upfield. MacMillan sending it for Christine Lilly. Locatelli, but nice ball for Julie Foudy. Foudy gets inside as she goes to take the shot. They want a foul, none is called, and Sandrine Roux is able to pounce on that. But Julie Foudy just about to take the shot, but watch Christine Lilly set this up.
She sets up Foudy. Foudy gets in. She has a great run on goal, but she is getting pushed and interfered with, and then she does actually get a touch to the ball, which is probably what saved her from getting the PK called against her. Were she not to get any part of that ball, I think we'd be looking at a PK situation right here.
Stephanie Mugnaret just able to get onto the ball and prevent Julie Foudy getting a crisper shot on goal. A foul against France, so it'll be a free kick with 31 minutes left here in the second half for the United States team. Julie Foudy with cap number 100 on Thursday. And we saw also a black armband. If you look closely on the sleeves of the United States jersey, that is for Garrett Ham, the brother of Mia Ham, who died last week. And a closer look at that black armband to honor the memory. A free kick. This one sent by Shannon MacMillan. And MacMillan powering that one forward.
See another look at that. Shannon MacMillan really has a very powerful shot. She runs onto it. There's a tiny bit of a deflection at the end. Handball, looks like. She just gets a little piece of it. But MacMillan really can hit a ball very hard, especially from distance, and it can knuckle and bob and weave on goalkeepers. It makes it very difficult, especially with the wind today. If she gets another chance at that, it could be a very dangerous opportunity for the United States.
Shannon MacMillan, who played at the University of Portland under the direction of Clive Charles. Thori Staples thundering that up the right sideline. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the French team. Thori Staples out of the very competitive Atlantic Coast Conference when she played her college ball. What do you see in the second half? Do you think they're accomplishing what Tony DiCicco wanted, or are they absorbing too much pressure?
Well, they're starting to open up the field a little bit, although France has had some opportunities this half. I'm sure DiCicco would like to see less opportunities by the French team, but they are opening the field a little bit and getting in.
And just as you mentioned that, Kristine Lilly trying to get onto that, and France forced to concede a throw-in. Dave Johnson, Mary Harvey here in Tampa, Florida, Peppin Stadium. U.S. Soccer victory tour for the United States women's team. 1-1 the score between the United States and France. There'll be a corner kick coming up here for the United States.
Again, here's another opportunity for France to really have to deal with the power that Shannon MacMillan can put on her set pieces. She takes the corner kicks and she can really hit it hard and bend it in or out. Here it looks like she's going to hit an in-swinger. Makes it difficult to defend against.
Drives this one, but it is cleared. Stepping up, Sara Whalen. Thori Staples, in fact, the lone defender back. Shannon MacMillan. Overlap Brandi Chastain, but they'll put it for Julie Foudy. Foudy settling. Now Venturini coming through. It's in the net. It's in the net. Goal, Tisha Venturini, USA. Tisha Venturini. Electrify the crowd here in Tampa, Florida.
Tremendous goal by the United States. Here you see the cross coming. Goes right. Julie Foudy is in. She's far post. Doesn't quite get a chance to get a full shot off. There's a deflection. Venturini is covering that back post and just hammers it home, far post.
On the half volley as well.
There's the deflection. See the ball come back. Venturini's framing the goal and then hits it back across the goalkeeper far post. That's excellent finishing by the United States.
Tisha Venturini with her second of the afternoon. Now Robin Confer. The United States try to keep the pressure up, and Confer called for the foul. So Confer with the foul will be a free kick for the French team. As Confer tangling up with Sandrine Soubiran. In fact, Soubiran giving a push to Confer after the foul to express her displeasure.
She's not going to get any sympathy.
No.
Confer's from Clearwater, which is in the Tampa Bay area. I don't think she's going to...
The fans are clearly on her side. A throw-in coming up for the French team. So 2-1, the United States reclaiming the lead, I should say taking the lead here in the second half. Guillemin with the cross. Thori Staples denies. And it goes into the corner. I think that's a corner kick for the French team. All right, Budweiser scoring summary. Tisha Venturini unassisted in the 61st minute.
Week 7.
Second and goal at the 3. They give for Dane, running right. Dane to the goal line, touchdown!
comes up, makes a good punch, scrambles back. She gets, there's the French defender trying to hit a bike, it looks like, or hit a scissors kick behind her. And Ducar comes off her line, seeing that, and makes a good save.
Elodie Roux was in position, but Ducar denied. Now Kerry Connors for the United States team, energized after the goal to put them up. Thori Staples. So try to right side. Running into space now, Sara Whalen. Whalen controlling, Whalen shooting off the post. It nicks the post. But that was well read on all accounts by the United States team, and Sara Whalen seeing a channel she could take advantage of.
Exactly, she gets right into space, finds that seam right behind two French defenders, gets in, gets a great look at goal, just goes wide. Here you see that seam she runs into, ball's bouncing a little bit, trying to get a shot off. She goes for that far corner, just kisses the post.
And you see the channel she had to work with.
Exactly, the ball's bouncing, it's a little difficult, she's under pressure, she gets the shot off, and it just goes wide, but that's a great chance for the United States.
25 minutes left. United States in the white, France in the blue. 2 goals by Tisha Venturini, giving the United States that lead. Whalen putting it back to Staples, and that a little bit more adventuresome than I think the United States defense would like. Elodie Roux putting the pressure on. The United States handling the pressure for the moment. France now. Foudy immediately under pressure and fouled, and a free kick coming up for the United States. But Julie Foudy helped set up that goal with her shot.
Foudy just gets pushed from behind.
Let's see, was she playing the ball there? I didn't see.
I'm not quite sure.
Not sure if she saw the ball there. That was clearly a foul. 2-1 the score. Brandi Chastain to take the free kick for the United States. Robin Confer trying to get in position. And a foul on Confer. Hillion-Guillemin was there. Experienced defender that Confer trying to push off on. And denying Bernadette Pichon a chance. Sara Whalen, she just wanted to clear that away, not give Pichon a chance to work up that flank. Mugneray doing well under triple pressure. Guillemin putting it in the middle. Thori Staples with the header, but now the United States trying to win in midfield, and a foul instead on Julie Foudy as she fouls Sandrine Soubiran. Free kick for France. It's going to be difficult for the French team, actually both teams in this heat, but the French team particularly seem to be bothered by this Tampa heat.
So the United States has trained and played in this heat for a while, so they should be more used to it.
Soubiran sending that one, but that sails. It'll be a goal kick for Tracy Ducar. In fact, there were a couple of stretches I noticed in the first half, Mary, where there was any kind of break in action just a couple times, but they tried to get water bottles out there, and of course they were told by the 4th official not to, but a sign that early on they were perhaps shocked at the temperature in April here in Tampa. 80 degrees was our game time temperature.
It's not only 80 degrees, it's very humid out there, and you just lose so much just sweating it off as you're playing out there. You lose a lot of body water, and you really have to be conscious about hydrating. And certainly as a result of having trained here the last 2 years to prepare for the '95 World Cup and the Olympics, the United States players are very accustomed to having to hydrate and take care of themselves to play in these kind of conditions.
French team, Hillion-Guillemin putting it forward to Candy Hebert. Shut down there by Sara Whalen, and Venturini coming through with help. And now the United States in transition. Christie Pearce. Again, that's a new name. Getting her chance in the U.S. national team out of Monmouth College, where she's a basketball point guard and soccer star. The cross, and Sandrine Roux has it red, otherwise Christine Lilly would have been celebrating a goal.
It's a great series by both teams. She gets end line, Pearce gets end line, sends a good cross. Christine Lilly comes flying into that space. And does a very good read by Roux. She knows Lilly's there and cuts in front. If she doesn't come for that, that's probably in the back of the net.
At the other end of the field, Tracy Ducar in possession. Sara Whalen will just make sure this one does go out of play, with Marinette Pichon offering the pressure. So we documented Pichon, someone who's had a lot of success against this United States national team. Tony DiCicco.
You're going to sit in. You're going to sit in behind.
Took over for Anson Dorrance, head coach of this U.S. women's national team, with a 45-3-4 mark heading into this game. Looks like Amanda Cromwell may be getting set to check in. At least DiCicco talking with Amanda Cromwell. So that'll be the substitution Mary will watch for. Thori Staples now for the United States. MacMillan has Pearce cutting up. Foudy now. Put it in the middle into space, but Jocelyn Gout of the French team occupying that space. They work it wide to Stephanie Mugnaret. Nice combination from Pichon to Mugnaret. Back to Pichon. Marinette Pichon will take the shot, and that one will smack off the Snickers dashboard, and it will be a goal kick.
Pichon doesn't even hesitate. She gets the slightest chance to pull the trigger. She gets a little space, and she's taking the shot. Team's down by a goal. France needs to get one, so she's taking every opportunity she can get.
Potential sub coming in, Amanda Cromwell. And if she does come in, what dynamic will she add to the United States?
Amanda Cromwell is a very experienced player. She's a good defensive midfielder. She can play in playmaking midfield as well. She's very good at creating opportunities, moving the ball laterally side to side, but she'll also look to serve long, trying to get people in over the top. So she's a very good, experienced defender as well as a playmaker. So she should be a great addition to the lineup here.
French player is down, Elodie Roux, who is on the wrong end of Thori Staples' challenge, a clean challenge. Staples went for the ball, but then Roux colliding with Staples. She appears to be okay. Free kick now for the United States. Mugnaret stepping up to win the ball. Now Pichon having to track back to collect. The French team trying to form the attack. Cutting into space, Jocelyn Gout. Gout trying to keep it under control. Help from the back, and then Guillemin. This one skims through, as I think that went off the head of Brandi Chastain. It'll be a corner kick coming up for the French team. So some good pressure here as the French team, with about 18 minutes left, tries to equalize.
France twice there shows that they're really looking to expose a weak side. Here they send a ball across weak side to Roux. She gets in, and then she looks for the weak side again, going across the goal to try to get someone in. Brandi Chastain just gets ahead to it.
Mugnaret settles. She may have a shot here. She does, but then Staples sticks in to block it. Mugnaret had the space for the moment, but Staples didn't give her the time. And Venturini, alertly under pressure, puts it back to Tracy Ducar, who will gladly, under those circumstances, concede the throw-in. But what a block by Thori Staples.
Thori Staples, actually, the entire game since she's been in, she's been really good at closing down and just not giving her man that's in her zone any real chance to play out of it. As you see there, she just steps up really hard and goes in for the tackle. And she's done that really ever since she came on the first half. She's had a very good game today.
So Amanda Cromwell replaces Kerry Connors. So that substitution, Cromwell in for Kerry Connors. Guillemin for France. Jocelyn Gout. Gout going to put on the dazzling footwork. In fact, that went off Sara Whalen, so it'll be a throw-in. And then Guillemin. Now Marinette Pichon, but Sara Whalen steps up to pry it away with some help from Amanda Cromwell. A nice ball on the flank for Shannon MacMillan from Christine Lilly. MacMillan now turning her defender, Locatelli inside. Trying to slot it for Venturini, but got caught in traffic. Lilly getting the ball back, alertly to MacMillan. Good defense on the part of the French team. They were organized. Brandi Chastain. Lilly gets it to Sara Whalen. Whalen eludes a charging Jocelyn Gut. Good work on the part of the United States to get out of that pressure.
Exactly. They're very composed, even in tight situations. They're playing real good 1- and 2-touch rhythm, just working the ball. Then they change the point of the attack, and they're out on the other side.
Where Christie Pearce resides. Now Thori Staples stepping up. Staples, and she wins the corner kick as that goes off Ringler.
It's an example of United States outside defenders willing to get forward. Here's Thori Staples, comes up, gets involved in the attack, creates a numbers up situation, and almost gets a pretty dangerous cross-off.
The result, a corner kick for the United States, and certainly would feel a lot more comfortable with that third goal the way this game has gone this afternoon here in Tampa, Florida. MacMillan. Chastain getting a header on it. Brandi Chastain. .5 minutes left. And there's no extra time. Sandrine Roux to put it in play. Venturini with the header, now at the back. Diacre was fortunate to be there as charging forward the United States national team. Now with Robert Confer. Confer trying to cut it back to the 6-yard box. It's headed away, and now France trying to clear the defensive third. Sara Whalen putting the pressure on Marinette Pichon. And it will be throw-in coming up for the French team. Injured player is Sandrine Soubiran. He took a cleat to the shin and feeling the ill effects of that.
Looks like she's down, hurting a little bit. Maybe it's a cramp, or they just need to rub it out a little bit.
No, she got a pretty good kick, yeah. Paying the price for trying to win the ball in the midfield was Sandrine Soubiran. So while they tend to her, this is a chance for players on both teams to get some much needed, as you talked about, you have to stay hydrated. They're taking this advantage to get some water and get refreshed for the final 13 minutes and change.
When it's hot and humid like this, you really need to take advantage of every opportunity of a stoppage and play to get some, water in.
It starts. The United States team was still at the bench, Mary, getting the water, and they almost paid for that hydration. MacMillan, that went off her arm, but MacMillan, they play through. Jocelyn Gut intervening. Sara Whalen, poke it away, but it'll be a throw-in for the French team. Denying space.
Tony DiCicco really encouraging his players to put more pressure on the French midfield, really closing down the space they have to play. And you can see there, he's also trying to get him to double team more and try to win back possession.
Well, it's much easier to win it back at that portion of the field than about 30 or 40 yards upfield. Soubiran, who is fouled, was a player that was just injured for the French team, fouled by Julie Foudy. It'll be a free kick for the French. 2 goals from Tisha Venturini. The difference in this contest, 1 in the first half off a corner kick, and 1 unassisted here in the second half to make it 2-1. Second leg of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour, celebrating the gold medal victory in the 1996 Olympics. And as we said, looking ahead to the Women's World Cup in 1999, to be hosted by the United States. And Corinne Diacre decides to have a go from about 35 yards. Rather ambitious effort. We mentioned that Julie Foudy for the U.S. national team celebrating her 100th cap against France in Greensboro. And we look at the 100 Cup, and they're pretty good company there.
That's an impressive group. Not that many teams can boast that many members of the 100 Club who are still actively playing, and the amazing thing is they're all very young still. Mia Hamm, Christine, Lilly, Carla Overbeck and Julie Foudy are all very young still, and that number is going to get a lot bigger before they're done playing.
Karen Gabert, Joy Fawcett, and Carla Overbeck are taking time off. They're pregnant right now, so they schedule that so they can work on the family end of their lives and also look ahead to the World Cup. All the players wanting to be a part of that World Cup in 1999. It really is amazing how players are able to juggle all facets of their lives and the pressures of being on the national team. And in the case of Karen Gabert and Carla Overbeck, a couple of coaches there as well. Karen Gabert, the head coach of the Naval Academy, Carla Overbeck, an assistant with Duke University. Challenged by Jocelyn Guda and Robin Confer. Confer takes nothing and now puts it in the middle, but stepping back was Stephanie Mugnaret to win the ball. But again, as you mentioned, we're seeing more and more they're closing quicker on the player with the ball, the United States team.
Really just, whenever you're in a position where you're having to defend, you just want to get the ball back as soon as possible. And certainly in this part of the field, you're just short of entering their defensive third and being in on goal. So the United States is really trying to pressure France in the small spaces and really trying to get the ball back in and get someone in.
Elodie Jacques checking in for the French team. So she makes the substitution, replacing Jocelyn Roux. The French team now. Elodie Roux trying to win the ball, but Thori Staples demonstratively clearing that one away. Thori Staples, you know when she's approaching. Aggressive defender.
And she's always approaching very, very fast.
I was just going to say, Elodie Roux has already paid the price once with Thori Staples on that side. Under 10 minutes left in this match. United States, at the very least, trying to preserve the 2-1 scoreline. In the wind and humidity of Tampa, Florida, it's Amanda Cromwell. Chastain has had a very solid game at the back for the United States team. Now Robin Confer working on the right side for Venturini, but Elodie Jacques, who just checked in, able to win the ball. Some fresh legs out there for the French team. And Ringler clearing that one. It'll be a throw-in for the United States team. And you look at the success this United States team has had. They have been the dominant team in the sport of women's soccer. And now the challenge is to maintain and also expand at the top.
Well, there's also a battle of a World Cup championship title to be regained that's certainly on everyone's mind.
Something that happened in 1995 that didn't go according to plan in Sweden. Elodie Jacques will take the shot, and she saw the opening, but it'll be a goal kick coming out for the United States team.
As a goalkeeper, it's very difficult to see shots like that because you're shooting through traffic and you're not always quite, you know the shot's gone off, but you may not exactly get a good look at it. And all of a sudden it pops up in front of you and you really have to hope that you're in position to be able to save it.
That's a good point. Yeah, at that point, you really are hoping you're in position because you may not have time to react. And so a similar situation earlier this year in a Major League Soccer game where the keeper just had no idea the shot was taken and was caught flat-footed just watching it go in. 7.5 minutes left. Amanda Cromwell. MacMillan making the charge, and she's taken down from behind by Sandrine Ringler.
It's our tackle. She's actually a little lucky not to
get a card on that one.
Get a card for that one.
Nancy Lane not issuing the card. Be a free kick for the United States team. Brandi Chastain to take the free kick. Heard Tony DiCicco tell Brandi to take a look at the keeper. We'll see what that means. And Chastain, it'll be a goal kick, but she told Brandi to take a look at the keeper. What was he talking about there?
Well, the keeper was a little bit off her line, a little bit to one side, maybe preoccupied with getting her weak side defender set up, and left a little bit of one side of the goal exposed, and she was a bit off her line, so certainly a shot from outside, a little bit of topspin on it might catch her and go in over the top. So just telling her to take a look and see if she saw anything that she wanted to take a crack at, which she did.
Offside flag was up. They wave it off. United States on the attack. The cross. Christine Lilly sneaking back. And the challenge there from Hillion-Guillemin, but it is Lilly that gets called for the foul. Free kick coming up for the French team on the foul. We see the previous play as Lilly sneaking behind the defense.
She gets in here and she comes flying in hard from behind, and that's probably what caught the referee's attention and earned her the foul.
Robin Confer collecting, getting around Locatelli. Cecile Locatelli marking Confer. It'll be a corner kick for the United States. This juncture, you know, the United States would like to punctuate this match with that third goal, because French team in the second half has still shown very good penetration and very good opportunities. MacMillan and Foudy. MacMillan on the corner.
I think they were going to try to run a short corner play, and then the referee wants him to back off a little bit, give him 10 yards. French defenders are following Foudy in.
MacMillan driving this one. Chastain piercing through.
Brandi Chastain is always dangerous on set pieces, especially when she's taking them or she's getting on the end of them with her head. She's a great header. She really gets up, gets great hang time. She's very good technically at really getting a lot of power behind it. She's always dangerous, and you can see right there, if she gets a chance to get a look at it, it can be trouble.
We look at the replay. Substitution made for the French team. Audie Benezak checking in. We'll take a look at this replay.
Here, Brandi Chastain, you just see her get up, get right in front of the defender. That's great positioning. She makes a diagonal run right in front of two French defenders. It just goes over the bar. That was a great effort by Brandi Chastain, and she just misses.
4.5 minutes now. French team trying to pierce through. The United States instead at the defensive third. It'll be a throw-in for the United States team. Again, for the United States, this tour will continue in Milwaukee as they'll take on South Korea. That'll be on the 2nd of May. Trying to stay undefeated on this U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour. Our Snickers Most Valuable Player today, I think, with good reason, Tisha Venturini with the 2 goals. So our Snickers Most Valuable Player for the United States. Tracy Ducar with read on that. And that, if you're a fan of college soccer, you probably knew her as Tracy Noonan, goalkeeper for the University of North Carolina. Now Tracy Ducar getting married to talk about just this past week. So indeed, this is a honeymoon. There's time for that later.
I think they're looking at trying to take it in December after teams have been on break with the college season, maybe having some time then to take some time and have a honeymoon. It's always difficult when you're in the middle of you know, a competitive tournament like this. You're just going all summer long. There's really not a whole lot of time to be able to take off.
Well, it takes your mind off the wedding. You're not so nervous about the wedding. That's part of the positive of that. Elodie Wouk stepping upfield for the French team. To Elodie Jacques. Well, trying to play a ball into space to Hillion-Guillemin, but fortunately Sarah Whalen headed that away. Now the challenge by Corinne Diacre. Christine Lilly handling the pressure. Now Foudy stepping up, trying to close down the option.
See how tough Christine Lilly is. She's just weathering a beating from behind by the French player, and she just weathers it, keeps her composure, stays up, and ends up turning and serving it down the line. She's a tough player.
And our Snickers Most Valuable Player for the French team, Anne Zanone, who scored their lone goal this afternoon. And did what she was asked without Marinette Pichon in the first half. She scored the goal for the French team. A foul on the French team, so it'll be a free kick with now official time on the field. We're under 2 minutes left in this match here from Tampa, Florida. Brandi Chastain surveys. You assess this whole match, Mary Harvey. Do you think Tony DiCicco, in general, will be pleased, or will this give him a barometer of some things that need to be worked on?
Well, the thing is that today he's got his core of veterans in here. He's got a lot of players with a tremendous amount of experience on the team, but at the same time, he's taking a look at a lot of new players, and things always aren't going to go like clockwork. You're always going to have bumps along the way, but by and large, I think the new players have dealt very, very well. It's always an adjustment going into an international match. The game's a lot faster. Your decision-making has to be so much faster, and they've done very, very well today. I think, you know, you always get something positive when you get a chance to give them some significant playing time, and that's what they've gotten today.
Marinette Pichon trying to get onto it, but Sara Whalen, and you mentioned some of the new players working in. Sara Whalen, one of those players that has played very well at the back, with Brandi Chastain, of course, the veteran anchoring that back. But a corner kick now for France. Closing moments of this game, and France would love to pinch an equalizer.
The wind's still a little bit of a factor, so anytime there's a set piece going at the United States goal, it's always a bit dodgy. You might see the ball do something a little funny here.
Hillion-Guillemin will put it back out to Elodie Roux. Candy Hebert showing for the ball, but Amanda Cromwell heading that out of danger. And now Robin Confer for the United States. And Confer must have gone out of play. She must have dribbled it out of play. So it'll be a throw-in for the French team. Sandrine Soubiran trying to find Hillion-Guillemin, who has come forward from her back position in these waning moments, the number 2 player for France.
Absolutely, you're goal down. There's nothing to lose. France is just going to throw people forward and really try to get some good opportunities with what's left of the game.
Corinne Diacre putting a ball forward, and Marinette Pichon trying to get onto it again. And these are indeed tense moments for the United States team as they try to hold on to this 2-1 win. Cromwell with the possession. Now Whalen with Candy Hebert pressuring, and now Hebert trying to get onto this is Tracy Ducar. Forced to thunder that one away.
Ducar does a good job of getting this up and over, this charging forward that's coming right in on her, and she does a good job of getting it up and over her and out of danger.
Well, you can ask Casey Keller just how difficult a play that can be. All that would have taken was a ricochet off Candy Hebert, and maybe we are looking at a tie game.
Shows it happens to the best of them.
Nope, that's true. And, Casey Keller certainly in that category. Corinne Diacre with the long ball that will in fact end the match. So the United States capturing another victory on their victory tour. The United States with a 2-1 win over France. We're coming back to Tampa, Florida. Dave Johnson, Mary Harvey back at Tampa, Florida. The final this afternoon in the second leg of the U.S. Soccer Women's Victory Tour of the United States with a 2-1 win over France. Our Sticker's most valuable player this afternoon with the 2 goals. Tisha Venturini, and Tisha joins us. And Tisha, indeed, this turned out to be a very competitive match this afternoon against this French team.
Most definitely. I'm glad I'm sitting down right now because I'm totally exhausted. I think everyone out there was. They played us a hard game.
Let's take a look at your goals. And again, the first one was off a corner kick from Shannon MacMillan. Tell us what happened on this play.
Geez, I mean, I looked up and this ball was coming right at my head, and I was waiting for someone to get in my way, and no one ever did. So it just kind of just stood there and tried to head it down, keep it low, and I think it might have deflected off one of the defenders and went in. But it was a great buy by Mac. And
the second goal, you were right there after Julie Foudy had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Foudy was in there hustling and sliding and tackling, and it popped out right perfect again. So got set up nicely, and good work by my teammates, definitely.
Great, Tisha. You've had a great game today, 2 goals. What do you think the team's going to take away from this game today?
I mean, we can't be hesitant, and we got to be on our feet and be ready to go the whole time. I think we were a little slow. We were a step off defensively, and they had a good amount of play of the game today. So we got to step up our level of the game.
Tisha Venturini, congratulations on a wonderful game. Best of luck on this victory tour.
Thanks a lot.
Tisha Venturini joining us has 2-1, the final today for the United States.